Imagine this. You're standing on the battlefield of your own emotions, staring at silence. A woman, once the object of your attention, now ignores you. But here's the truth. No one dares to speak. Her indifference is not the problem. Your reaction is. In this moment, your mind either crumbles under the weight of its desires, or it rises, stronger, sharper, and unbreakable. This is the moment where your true power lies, where Stoicism transforms silence into strength and ignorance into indifference. If you're ready to shatter her ego without uttering a word, this video is your call to war. Before we dive in, hit that subscribe button and join a community that seeks not the validation of others, but mastery over the self. You are not here to merely understand, you are here to transform. So, let's begin. Watch to the end, because every piece of this video is a step in your journey to ultimate self-control and fortitude. The power of letting go. A woman ignores you and suddenly your mind starts racing. What did I do wrong? Why is she treating me this way? But the Stoic knows that such thoughts are chains, binding us to things outside of our control. Epictetus, one of the most profound Stoic philosophers, teaches that we suffer not from the events in our lives, but from our judgments about them. Her actions are beyond your influence. What matters is how you choose to interpret them. You must begin by asking yourself, why do I care if she ignores me? To a true Stoic, indifference is a weapon, not a weakness. In the silence of her neglect, there is an opportunity for growth. Most men react impulsively, desperate for attention, validation, or a reason behind her behavior. But we must rise above these instincts. When you feel ignored, that feeling is rooted in an illusion, the illusion that you can control her response, that your worth depends on her acknowledgement. In reality, she does not hold power over you unless you give it to her. As Marcus Aurelius reminds us, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. Let your thoughts be rooted in your own strength, not in her silence. Instead of reacting, we must remain still. In that stillness, we find the space to reflect, to grow stronger. This is where you destroy her ego, not through confrontation, not through seeking her attention, but by becoming indifferent to it. When she realizes that her ignorance has no hold over you, that is when she will begin to question her own power. The Stoic does not seek revenge or validation. He seeks mastery over himself. The more you let go of the need for her approval, the more you reclaim your own power. True indifference is not passive, it is a disciplined act of will. When you no longer care for the superficial attention of others, you become untouchable. This does not mean that you suppress your feelings or ignore the situation. Instead, you must confront it with clarity and reason. As Seneca wrote, "A wise man is content with his lot, whatever it may be, without wishing for what he has not. If she chooses to ignore you, that is her decision. It does not reflect your worth, your value, or your strength. Her actions belong to her. Your response belongs to you. Master that, and you will see her ego crumble under the weight of your indifference." The ultimate display of strength. When a woman ignores you, the natural impulse is to act, to reach out, to confront her, to demand attention. But a Stoic understands that true strength lies not in action, but in restraint. Self-control is the foundation of Stoic philosophy, and it is in these moments of silence that your control is truly tested. No man is free who is not master of himself, Epictetus warns us. If you allow her behavior to dictate your actions, you are no longer in control. You are a puppet, dancing to the strings of her indifference. You must resist the urge to react. Silence, when used correctly, can be the most powerful response. Let her words, or lack thereof, echo in the emptiness while you remain still. It is not weakness to hold back. It is an act of profound strength. When you can sit in the discomfort of being ignored without rushing to alleviate it, you prove to yourself and to her that you are not moved by her whims. You are a fortress, unshaken by the external chaos. This is the ultimate display of self-control, and in this restraint you hold the power. The mind must be trained like a soldier in battle, prepared for any attack, whether it comes in the form of direct confrontation or quiet disregard. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. The power she believes she holds over you vanishes the moment you choose not to react." While others may scramble to restore their wounded egos, the Stoic remains composed, letting the storm pass without lifting a finger. This does not mean that you suppress your emotions or deny their existence. It means that you master them. When a woman ignores you, it is natural to feel frustration, confusion, even anger. But these emotions are not your masters. They are your training ground. The Stoic uses such moments to refine his discipline, to strengthen his control over the self. You do not need her acknowledgement, nor do you need to prove yourself. By mastering your emotions, you become the ruler of your own mind. Let others seek validation. You seek only self-mastery. Endure without yielding. The path of Stoicism is not an easy one. It demands that we endure what others cannot, that we remain steadfast where others falter. When a woman ignores you, it is easy to feel defeated, to believe that you must change your behavior or bend to her will to win her attention. But Stoicism teaches us a different lesson: fortitude. The ability to endure hardship without yielding, to stand tall even in the face of rejection, is the mark of a true Stoic. Hard times create strong men, the Stoics believed, and in this moment of silence, you are being tested. Will you crumble under the weight of your own insecurity, or will you rise stronger than before? This is not just about her ignoring you. It is about how you face adversity in every area of your life. The Stoic is not swayed by external events, because his strength comes from within. He knows that true power lies not in bending the world to his will, but in bending his own will to meet the world with resilience. When a woman ignores you, she expects you to chase her, to seek her approval, to feel diminished by her absence. But the Stoic does not chase. He stands firm, knowing that his value is not diminished by the actions of others. Seneca once said, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." You are not impoverished by her silence unless you allow yourself to be. Stand tall in your fortitude, endure without seeking, and you will destroy not only her ego, but the need for her attention altogether. Endurance is not passive. It is an active choice to remain steadfast, to confront the discomfort of being ignored and to rise above it. Every time you feel the urge to react, to reach out, to demand attention, remind yourself that true strength lies in patience. To bear trials with a calm mind robs misfortune of its strength and burden, Seneca reminds us. In your calmness, you rob her silence of its power. You turn the situation into a test of your inner strength, and in doing so, you elevate yourself far beyond the reach of her ego. Mastering your inner world. When a woman ignores you, destructive emotions naturally arise: anger, insecurity, frustration, and doubt. These emotions are like waves crashing against the shores of your mind, threatening to pull you into a sea of despair. But the Stoic knows that emotions are not the enemy. They are the raw material from which strength is forged. The mind that is anxious about future events is miserable, Marcus Aurelius tells us. You must learn to master these emotions, to transform them into the very source of your power. First, understand that your emotions are not reality. Just because you feel ignored or rejected does not mean you are less valuable or worthy. The Stoics believed that emotions are judgments, interpretations of the world around us. If you feel hurt by her indifference, it is not her actions that have caused your pain, but your perception of them. Change your perception, and you change your reality. As Epictetus teaches, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Her silence is neutral. It is your mind that assigns meaning to it. Second, use your emotions as a tool for growth. When you feel anger or frustration, do not suppress these feelings. Acknowledge them, and then use them as a mirror to reflect on your own attachments and desires. Why does her indifference affect you? What does it reveal about your need for validation or control? These emotions, when examined through the lens of Stoicism, become opportunities for self-discovery and growth. By confronting them, you weaken their hold over you. Finally, channel these emotions into action, not outward action, but inward transformation. Instead of reacting to her silence with desperation or anger, use it as a catalyst for deeper self-mastery. The Stoic seeks to rise above the chaos of his own emotions, to find peace in the storm. He who has a why to live for can bear almost any how, Nietzsche once wrote, echoing the Stoic belief that purpose transcends suffering. Let your purpose be self-mastery, and let her silence be the crucible in which you forge your strength. Become untouchable. The ultimate goal of Stoicism is not to control others, but to control yourself. When a woman ignores you, the temptation is to focus on her, to find ways to manipulate or influence her behavior. But the Stoic knows that true power lies not in controlling others, but in becoming untouchable yourself. Her silence is irrelevant. What matters is your inner world, your ability to remain calm, composed, and confident in the face of indifference. By reclaiming your power, you destroy her ego without ever having to engage in petty games or emotional manipulation. The Stoic understands that the strongest form of power is self-control. When you no longer seek her approval, when you no longer crave her attention, you become free. This freedom is terrifying to those who seek to manipulate through silence or rejection. Her ego depends on your reaction. When you withhold it, you dismantle her power over you. To become untouchable, you must first cultivate a deep sense of self-worth that is independent of external validation. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." Focus on strengthening your mind, your spirit, and your resolve. When you no longer need her attention, when you no longer care whether she responds or not, you become invincible. Her ego, built on the fragile foundation of external validation, crumbles in the face of your indifference. Finally, remember that Stoicism is not about winning or losing in the game of relationships. It is about mastering yourself so that no external event, no person, no situation can disturb your peace. When you achieve this level of inner mastery, you become truly powerful, not because you have destroyed her ego, but because you have freed yourself from the need for anyone's approval, and in that freedom, you find the strength to live life on your own terms. The Stoic does not seek to destroy others, he seeks to master himself. When a woman ignores you, it is not her indifference that holds power, it is your response to it. By embracing indifference, practicing self-control, and mastering your emotions, You not only destroy her ego, but you elevate yourself to a higher plane of existence. You become untouchable, free from the need for validation, and unshaken by the actions of others. This is the true power of Stoicism, the ability to find strength in the face of adversity, to turn indifference into mastery, and to rise above the chaos of the external world.